Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat. And up first, let's get you the latest from Karnataka.
That's right. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge is expected to release the Karnataka Congress manifesto ahead of the polls. Former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, State Congress Chief D.K. Shivkumar and the chairman of the manifesto committee will also be present there. Meanwhile, the BJP also on the campaign trail pulling out all the big guns there.
That's right. The BJP released its manifesto yesterday. There you can see JP Nadda was there to release it. Now today, big names on the campaign trail. The Prime Minister will participate in a roadshow. He will be addressing a rally as well. This is in the Kalburgi district. Home Minister Amit Shah is in Karnataka as well, and he'll be holding several roadshows in Hanur, Kolagal and Varna constituencies. While today the big focus on the Congress's part is also on Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, who's a star campaigner, and he'll be in Mangaluru. Well, let's go across to NDTV's Shrija now for more. And Shrija, so the big focus today, firstly, you have all these big names hitting the campaign trail, but also the Congress expected to release its manifesto.
Well, that's right. In fact, all this while we've been seeing how Congress leaders, that includes, Rahul Gandhi as well, in fact, announcing nearly guarantees, and there was not a manifesto release or sought, because we have seen 5 guarantees which the Congress had released over the last 2 to 3 months. They went on to talk about how nearly rupees 2,000 will be credited to especially women head of every household, and also nearly 200 units of electricity will be given at free of cost, and also more importantly focusing on youth empowerment of depositing nearly 3,000 rupees. This is into the account of graduate holders, all unemployed graduate holders. And also then very recently, the Congress also did talk about their 5th guarantee, where they are issuing free bus passes. So just about yesterday, after, BJP had released its manifesto, more of, which looked more like Bommai's extension of the budget which he had presented earlier this year. Today, we're going to look at where Congress is planning to release their manifesto. Of course, their push has been, towards the SC/STs, the backward classes, underprivileged, and people of, all sections of society. Now, that's been the push, and more importantly, from the start, we have been seeing how especially the Congress has been taking swipes at the BJP at various platforms, saying that, the BJP had promised several crores of jobs, but however, that remains unfulfilled. And that is something, one of the major focus of the Congress, basically, in terms of jobs and also youth empowerment, which the Congress is looking forward to do so. And secondly, of course, women empowerment. So something on the similar lines. While the BJP manifesto, you also had in terms of, a heavy Hindutva push in terms of at least about 1,000 crore rupees set aside just for renovation and development of temples. We are looking at the Congress's manifesto, where they're looking forward to especially penetrate into the backward areas with, woo the voters with the manifesto that is going to benefit those from poor sections of the society.
All right, Shrija, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So as Shrija was mentioning, all eyes now on the Congress manifesto, how it's going to counter the BJP's manifesto, which had, a lot of significant highlights, including the promise to implement
the Congress already
UCC.
has given its 5 pledges for the state of Karnataka. Well, speaking of the Congress, today you'll have Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot on the campaign trail. He'll be in Bengaluru and Mangalore, and this is an outreach to the Rajasthani migrants, as every vote counts.
That's right. In fact, the Rajasthani migrants make up for almost 4% of the vote bank. And this is going to be a closely fought election. Every vote counts, as you said. And Ashok Gehlot is also in Karnataka. He's, of course, one of the Congress's star campaigners. Let's look at what his pitch has been in Karnataka.
Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot in Bengaluru and Mangalore, home to a significant Rajasthani population. But it's not just about connecting people from home. Ashok Gehlot is definitely pitching his model of social welfare as a blueprint for the Congress.
सोशल सिक्योरिटी में क्यों तो बार-बार जहाँ बैठे हैं बिल्डिंग बनी है, खाली मशीन नहीं बनी है, क्योंकि मजदूर काम कर रहे थे. मजदूर 50-55 साल का हो गया, उसके बाद में उनके सही साथ नहीं रहता है. हो सकता है घर में बेटे पोते ऐसे हों, वो सक्षम नहीं हो उसको रखने के लिए. क्या स्थिति बनती है जाते गरीबों की.
And as Ashok Gehlot holds the show, Sachin Pilot has been edged out of the Congress star campaigners list in Karnataka. And Prime Minister Modi couldn't resist a dig at the Congress's infighting in Rajasthan.
कांग्रेस और जेडीएस दोनों ही अस्थिरता के प्रतीक है। देश में जिन राज्यों में भी कांग्रेस की सरकारें बची हैं, वहां उनकी पहचान कांग्रेस नेताओं के आपसी झगड़े से है। राजस्थान, छत्तीसगढ़ में क्या चल रहा है, ये आप भी देख रहे हैं।
But the Chief Minister pointed out that in Rajasthan, the BJP too is a house divided.
किस राज्य में कौन सी राजनीतिक पार्टी में आपस में मनमुटाव थोड़ा बहुत नहीं है। बीजेपी में जो आज मनमुटाव है राजस्थान में, उसका कोई मैं समझता हूँ उदाहरण देश में कहीं नहीं मिलेगा आपको।
In cities like Bengaluru, Rajasthani migrants are about 4 lakh in population, of which about 1.5 lakh are voters. With Sushil Kumar in Bengaluru and Harsha Kumari Singh, this is Sarah Jacob for NDTV.
All right, now let's tell you about the mood of the voters in Karnataka as it's really heating up ahead of the 10th May elections. NDTV and Lokniti CSDS have conducted a unique survey to find out what it is that voters want.
That's right, Gargi. And speaking of manifestos, a lot of welfare schemes have actually been promised also by the BJP, and the Congress is expected to also announce major welfare schemes. So let's actually look at what the impact of these welfare schemes has been as far as voters are concerned. Here's what our survey found out.
Welfare schemes, beneficiaries of various welfare schemes of the central government. What exactly does the data show? Essentially, we are looking to see what people actually have to say. So, percentage of beneficiaries in Manrega. Sanjay, how would you have us read this graphic? 31% say what Manrega has worked, has been effective.
And amongst those who
benefited.
vote BJP, benefited.
It's very simple. Vishnu, 31% of the people in Karnataka said they have benefited from Manrega.
Right.
Similarly for various other schemes which is there on the screen.
Ayushman Bharat Yojana is at 32%.
So roughly you can say for a large number of schemes, the number of beneficiaries range from say 20% to 30%. For some it is slightly more than 20%, 30% and some little less than 20%.
And when it comes to state government beneficiaries of welfare schemes that are run by the state government, the Bhagya Lakshmi Yojana for BPL families, you got 45% who said that they've benefited. Out of that 45 intended to vote for the BJP, 44%.
44% or 45% intended to vote.
And 32% for the Congress free cycle of the government's 40. So in an effect, the state government welfare schemes seem to have reached more than the central government welfare schemes?
Yes, overall I think there is a lot of talk these days about what we call beneficiaries, in Hindi Labharthis. So what is happening is that if you look at the state government scheme, the reach of the state government is much more compared to the reach of the central government, and there is a clear divide. There is something called, what we are getting from the data, Labharthi, which is to say people who are benefiting from the central government and the state government seems to be voting for the ruling party, the party which has delivered these schemes, and people who have not benefited.
So even when it comes to Manrega, for example, 46% of those who backed it intend to vote for the BJP, far less for the Congress. Similarly, PM Awas Yojana, 43 versus 34 for the Congress.
Yes.
The Ujjwala scheme, 43. So that is along predictable lines. I mean, if you are going to be voting for the opposition, you wouldn't necessarily favor a central government scheme.
Yes, Vishnu, we have been asking these questions over a period of time. 5 years ago, we never used to see such a sharp distinction. But I think now it has got crystallized. The beneficiaries are mostly tilted in favor of the ruling party. So that's the new trend we are witnessing in Indian elections now.
And I think the big thing is also the next question, the assessment of the government's work. And this is an extremely important graphic to look at. It's a very important question, voters' assessment of the development work done by the BJP government in Karnataka. Improved, say 52% as far as roads are concerned. Electricity supply, 46% say they've improved. 51% say drinking water has improved. remain the same, say 31% for roads, 43% for electricity supply, and 35% for drinking water.
So there's a disparity over there between what people have, how they assess, Manisha, central schemes and how they assess local schemes, where among the people, when it comes to school, electricity, etc., roads, local government schemes, people tend to say that in many cases they've done well. But these are the same people who have problems, right, with the central schemes, right?
This is, Vishnu, this is the assessment of the government's work on the ground. One is the welfare schemes, Vishnu, which is a separate part.
We were talking about double engine sarkar.
Yeah.
So the assessment should have matched for the state government.
Exactly, and it's not.
Government.
That's the point I'm raising.
Yeah, so that's one part. The second part, maybe we can engage Sugata on this. I mean, the Bhagya and the Purna schemes for Siddha.
Yes.
So, prominent, the Matri Purna, the Annapurna, the Indira canteens. Now you see a rejig of these. So what I get to definitely understand is that without providing a basic floor level of development and welfareism, not just development as in roads, etc., but basic welfareism, that threshold has to be provided by all political parties. Without that, you cannot get through. Now, by itself, whether it will get you ahead of that or not, and whether one party scheme is different or more, clearly targeted at beneficiaries, I think there is a catch or trick. If you look at the manifestos of what the BJP is promising now, like, 3 cylinders only free for the Hindu calendar festivals of Ugadi, Diwali, and one more, and 3 cylinders free, versus the Congress really targeting it neat and clean on unemployment doles, one for a woman transfer. So far more of the in-kind transfers being promised from the BJP, which was so much of a cash transfer party. The Congress now clearly targeting and saying, here it is, if you're educated and unemployed, here are the ways in which we will provide you unemployment allowance. So I think that's the difference.
Just adding to those points, further as far as the data is concerned, this is another thing. Satisfaction with performance, voters' assessment of overall performance of state and central government, satisfaction with performance of work done by the BJP government of Karnataka, 27% fully satisfied. As far as the BJP government at the center, 24% fully satisfied. Somewhat satisfied, 36% as far as Karnataka is concerned, 42% as far as the central government is concerned. Dissatisfied fully, 19% as far as Karnataka government, and 20% as far as the central government is concerned.
The NDTV Lokniti CSDS poll gauging the public mood in Karnataka ahead of the ski elections.
What is the public opinion in Karnataka, which is all set to vote on the 10th of May? What are the issues people are likely to cast their vote on? And who is potentially the most popular choice for Chief Minister?
Part 2 coming up 9 p.m. on NDTV 24/7.
Welcome back. Let's get to the latest now on the wrestlers' protest that's entered the 10th day and under fire. The Wrestling Federation of India chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, however, remains defiant. He's even termed this protest by the country's elite wrestlers a dharna of Shaheen Bagh.
That's right, and the agitating wrestlers, undeterred, they've been protesting for over a week now, and they've reached out also to the Indian Olympic Association demanding the formation of an inquiry committee to probe the allegations of sexual harassment against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh.
ये खिलाड़ी भी पेड हैं, इन्होंने तय कर रखा है, और आप बताइए कि 50 लाख रुपए कपिल साहब सिब्बल साहब की फीस है और एक हियरिंग की 9 वकील खड़े करते हैं, तो क्या एक सामान्य खिलाड़ी इतने महंगे वकील रख सकता है? उसके बाद आप देखिए, जब इनकी डिमांड थी कि एफआईआर दर्ज हो, एफआईआर दर्ज हो गई, फिर भी इनका आंदोलन नहीं समाप्त हो रहा है। क्या आंदोलन में पैसा नहीं खर्च हो रहा है? धीरे 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 ये आंदोलन उसी शाहीन बाग की तरह बढ़ रहा है, ये बढ़ रहा है धीरे 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 धीरे। ये उत्तर प्रदेश को और हरियाणा को बांटना चाहते हैं, और फेडरेशन भंग नहीं है, फेडरेशन अभी हमारी भंग नहीं है। फेडरेशन हमारी तब भंग होगी जब हमारा चुनाव हो जाएगा, अगला आदमी आकर के ये कार्यभार संभाल लेगा, तब फेडरेशन का काम समाप्त होगा।
All right, let's go across now to Tanishq, who joins us from the protest site. And Tanishq, so far we're seeing Brij Bhushan remaining quite defiant. When will this end? What efforts are being made behind the scenes to reach out to the wrestlers?
Yes, Gargi. In fact, yesterday Brij Bhushan hit out at the wrestlers, saying that the protests are becoming like Shaheen Bagh. So we are yet to receive a reaction from the wrestlers on this. But let me tell you, the wrestlers have put up several posters comparing all the criminal alleged criminal history of Brij Bhushan Singh and all the achievements by the wrestlers. You can see over there Bajrang Punia's all the achievements of Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik. They have put up several posters here. So definitely the fight is now quite personal. They have taken up one step ahead, but we are now yet to receive a reaction on what Brij Bhushan said yesterday. Let me just remind you for the viewers that 2 FIRs have been lodged against Brij Bhushan, and Delhi police had yesterday promised that they will provide security to all the 7 complainants. Today, as of now, we are expected to see BKU chief Rakesh Tikait here at the protest site here in Jantar Mantar. Yesterday we saw Navjot Singh Sidhu extending his support. He came here. Congress leader Harish Rawat came here. Let me just remind you that Brij Bhushan also said that this is a conspiracy by the Congress, and also hit out at Dipinder Hooda for instigating the protest. Over to you, Gargi.
Right, Tanishq, thanks so much for those details. In fact, Rakesh Tikait is also expected to join the wrestlers' protests today.
That's right. Well, let's change focus now. And the World Economic Forum has put out its report on future of jobs 2023. So very interesting report, especially for the young people.
That's right. What are the fastest growing and declining jobs over the next 5 years? What are the jobs to watch out for? Sakshi gets us all the details.
The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report for 2023 highlights how nearly a quarter of global jobs will change in the next 5 years, and jobs and skills will evolve over the next 5 years. Now, as per the report, technology adoption will remain a key driver of business transformation over the span of the next 5 years. Within technology adoption, big data, cloud computing and AI feature highest on likelihood of adoption. More than 75% of companies are looking to adopt these technologies in the next 5 years, and employers anticipate a structural labour market churn of 23% of jobs in the next 5 years. Now, it is interesting to note that respondents of the survey expect structural job growth of 69 million jobs and a decline of 83 million jobs. So this essentially corresponds to a net decrease of 14 million jobs, or around 2% of current employment. The strongest net job creation effect will be driven by investments that facilitate the green transition of businesses. The report suggests that global supply chains must also quickly adapt now to the challenges of increasing geopolitical volatility, economic uncertainty, and rising inflation and increasing commodity prices as well. Now, the fastest growing jobs as per this report are AI and machine learning specialists, sustainability specialists, business and intelligence analysts, as well as information security specialists. Now, as per the report, analytical thinking and creative thinking remain the most important skills for workers in 2023, as employers estimate that 44% of workers' skills will be disrupted altogether in the next 5 years. However, the concern remains as 6 in 10 workers will require training before 2027. An important part to note here is that only half of these workers are seen to have access to adequate training opportunities today. So that's really an area of concern. Now, lastly, the report also highlights India's key job indicators and the areas of concern there as well.
Moving to news from Uttar Pradesh now, with elections to over 700 urban local bodies and just a few days away, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has hit the campaign trail, pitching the BJP government's action against mafias as a big achievement by his government, and this comes very close to the killing of a gangster Atiq Ahmed, who was killed in police custody.
That's right. Former Indian MP Atiq Ahmed and his brother were shot dead at point-blank range. Now, the Samajwadi Party, that's the main challenger to the BJP in these polls, however, has charged the Chief Minister of diverting attention from real issues with these claims. Now, a massive controversy that's brewing over upcoming film, The Kerala Story, with a major political backlash, and this as the ruling Left Democratic Front in Kerala, the opposition United Democratic Front and the Congress are all opposed to this film that's been supported, though, by many members of the BJP.
That's right. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor in fact tweeted, sharing the poster of the film, and wrote, "It may be your Kerala story, it's not our Kerala story." In fact, former Kerala Finance Minister Thomas Isaac has also tweeted. He said, "This is not our story. Kerala story is one of religious tolerance and secularism." The film Kerala Story is yet another desperate attempt, as per him, of the Sangh Parivar to polarize society by propagating outright lies.
The film claims that 32,000 women from Kerala were actually recruited to the ISIS through love jihad in Kerala, and this is something that has been challenged by many, and this film is set to release soon. Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat, and up first, let's get you the latest from Karnataka.
That's right. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge is expected to release the Karnataka Congress manifesto ahead of the polls. Former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, State Congress Chief DK Shivkumar and the chairman of the manifesto committee will also be present there. Meanwhile, the BJP also on the campaign trail, pulling out all the big guns there.
That's right. The BJP released its manifesto yesterday. There you can see JP Nadda was there to release it. Now today, big names on the campaign trail. The Prime Minister will participate in a roadshow. He will be addressing a rally as well. This is in the Kalburgi district. Home Minister Amit Shah is in Karnataka as well, and he'll be holding several roadshows in Hanur, Kolagal and Varna constituencies. While today the big focus on the Congress's part is also on Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, who's a star campaigner, and he'll be in Mangaluru. Well, let's go across to NDTV's Shrija now for more. And Shrija, so the big focus today, firstly, you have all these big names hitting the campaign trail, but also the Congress expected to release its manifesto.
Well, that's right. In fact, all this while we've been seeing how Congress leaders, that includes, Rahul Gandhi as well, in fact, announcing nearly guarantees, and there was not a manifesto release or sought, because we have seen 5 guarantees which the Congress had released over the last 2 to 3 months. They went on to talk about how nearly rupees 2,000 will be credited to especially women head of every household, and also nearly 200 units of electricity will be given at free of cost, and also more importantly focusing on youth empowerment of depositing nearly 3,000 rupees. This is into the account of graduate holders, all unemployed graduate holders. And also then very recently, the Congress also did talk about their 5th guarantee, where they are issuing free bus passes. So just about yesterday, after, BJP had released its manifesto, more of, which looked more like Bommai's extension of the budget, which he had presented earlier this year. Today, we're going to look at where Congress is planning to release their manifesto. Of course, their push has been, towards the SC/STs, the backward classes, underprivileged, and people of, all sections of society. Now, that's been the push, and more importantly, from the start, we have been seeing how especially the Congress has been taking swipes at the BJP at various platforms, saying that, the BJP had promised several crores of jobs, but however, that remains unfulfilled. And that is something, one of the major focus of the Congress, basically, in terms of jobs and also youth empowerment, which the Congress is looking forward to do so. And secondly, of course, women empowerment. So something on the similar lines. While the BJP manifesto, you also had in terms of, a heavy Hindutva push in terms of at least about 1,000 crore rupees set aside just for renovation and development of temples. We are looking at the Congress's manifesto, where they're looking forward to especially penetrate into the backward areas with, woo the voters with the manifesto that is going to benefit those from poor sections of the society.
All right, Shrija, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So as Shrija was mentioning, all eyes now on the Congress manifesto, how it's going to counter the BJP's manifesto, which had, a lot of significant highlights, including the promise to implement
the Congress already
UCC.
has given its 5 pledges for the state of Karnataka. Well, speaking of the Congress, today you'll have Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot on the campaign trail. He'll be in Bengaluru and Mangalore, and this is an outreach to the Rajasthani migrants as every vote counts.
That's right. In fact, the Rajasthani migrants make up for almost 4% of the vote bank. And this is going to be a closely fought election. Every vote counts, as you said. And Ashok Gehlot is also in Karnataka. He's, of course, one of the Congress's star campaigners. Let's look at what his pitch has been in Karnataka.
Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot in Bengaluru and Mangalore, home to a significant Rajasthani population. But it's not just about connecting people from home. Ashok Gehlot is definitely pitching his model of social welfare as a blueprint for the Congress.
सोशल शिविर में क्यों तो बार बार जहाँ बैठे ही बिल्डिंग बनी है, खाली मशीन नहीं बनी है, क्योंकि मजदूर काम कर रहे थे। मजदूर 50-55 साल का हो गया, उसके बाद में उनके सही साथ नहीं रहता है। हो सकता है घर में बेटे पोते रहते हों, वो सक्षम नहीं हो उसको रखने के लिए। क्या स्थिति बनती है जाते गरीबों की?
And as Ashok Gehlot holds the show, Sachin Pilot has been edged out of the Congress star campaigners list in Karnataka. And Prime Minister Modi couldn't resist a dig at the Congress's infighting in Rajasthan.
कांग्रेस और जेडीएस दोनों ही अस्थिरता के प्रतीक है। देश में जिन राज्यों में भी कांग्रेस की सरकारें बची हैं, वहां उनकी पहचान कांग्रेस नेताओं के आपसी झगड़े से है। राजस्थान, छत्तीसगढ़ में क्या चल रहा है, ये आप भी देख रहे हैं।
But the Chief Minister pointed out that in Rajasthan, the BJP too is a house divided.
किस राज्य में कौन सी राजनीतिक पार्टी में आपस में मनमुटाव थोड़ा बहुत है? बीजेपी में जो आज मनमुटाव है राजस्थान में, उसका कोई मैं समझता हूँ देश में कहीं नहीं मिलेगा आपको।
In cities like Bengaluru, Rajasthani migrants are about 4 lakh in population, of which about 1.5 lakh are voters. With Sushil Kumar in Bengaluru and Harsha Kumari Singh, this is Sarah Jacob for NDTV.
All right, now let's tell you about the mood of the voters in Karnataka as it's really heating up ahead of the 10th May elections. NDTV and Lokniti CSDS have conducted a unique survey to find out what it is that voters want.
That's right, Gargi. And speaking of manifestos, a lot of welfare schemes have actually been promised also by the BJP, and the Congress is expected to also announce major welfare schemes. So let's actually look at what the impact of these welfare schemes has been as far as voters are concerned. Here's what our survey found out.
Welfare schemes, beneficiaries of various welfare schemes of the central government. What exactly does the data show? Essentially, we are looking to see what people actually have to say. So, percentage of beneficiaries in Manrega. Sanjay, how would you have us read this graphic? 31% say what Manrega has worked, has been effective.
And amongst those who
benefited.
vote BJP, benefited.
It's very simple. Vishnu, 31% of the people in Karnataka said they have benefited from Manrega.
Right.
Similarly for various other schemes which is there on the screen.
Ayushman Bharat Yojana is at 32%.
So roughly you can say for large number of schemes, the number of beneficiaries range from say 20% to 30%. For some it is slightly more than 20%, 30% and some little less than 20%.
And when it comes to state government beneficiaries of welfare schemes that are run by the state government, the Bhagya Lakshmi Yojana for BPL families, you got 45% who said that they've benefited. Out of that 45 intended to vote for the BJP, 44%
or 45% intended to vote.
And 32% for the Congress free cycle of the government's 40. So in an effect, the state government welfare schemes seem to have reached more than the central government welfare schemes?
Yes, overall I think there is a lot of talk these days about what we call beneficiaries, in Hindi labharthis. So what is happening is that if you look at the state government scheme, the reach of the state government is much more compared to the reach of the central government, and there is a clear divide. there is something called, what we are getting from the data, Labharthi, which is to say people who are benefiting from the central government and the state government seems to be voting for the ruling party, the party which has delivered these schemes, and people who have not benefited.
So even when it comes to Manrega, for example, 46% of those who backed it intend to vote for the BJP, far less for the Congress. Similarly, PM Awas Yojana, 43 versus 34 for the Congress.
Yes.
The Ujjwala scheme, 43. So that is along predictable lines. I mean, if you are going to be voting for the opposition, you wouldn't necessarily favor a central government scheme.
Yes, Vishnu, we have been asking these questions over a period of time. 5 years ago, we never used to see such a sharp.
All right, breaking news coming in. The Congress about to release its manifesto. There you can see Mallikarjun Kharge flanked by former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. And there you can see they're now Vedanta holding up that manifesto. But though we already know the 5 pledges that the Congress has made for the state of Karnataka.
That's right. In fact, yesterday the BJP also released its manifesto, and today there you can see the Congress releasing its manifesto. The Congress leaders have of course said that this will be the biggest factor in our win as far as their guarantee cards are concerned. That is something that is going to be at the center of their manifesto, something that all top Congress leaders have pointed out. Of course, 2,000 per month for every woman, the rupees 3,000 for every graduate, 200 units of free electricity. So there we can
10 kilos of rice free to every member of a BPL household. So there you can see Mallikarjun Kharge, holding up the manifesto, all of them, opening up and holding up that manifesto. And this comes a day after the BJP released its manifesto. We also know today it's going to be quite heated on the campaign trail. You have the Prime Minister there, and he's really come to give a big push to the BJP at the end just ahead of the elections. And you have Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot in Karnataka as well, and that's interesting. So each vote counts, so reaching out to the immigrants there, to the migrant voters rather, and DK Shivkumar, they're about to make an address.
That's right, Gargi. In fact, when we talk about the guarantees, the BJP, of course, also took a dig at the Congress, saying that these guarantees will never be fulfilled. And of course, it's a very competitive manifesto, because remember, the BJP said that they'll be promising 5 kg free rice, the Congress saying 10 kg free rice. Of course, welfare push as far as the Congress and the BJP both are concerned. And it remains to be seen what Mr. Kharge also says as far as the Congress's strategy is concerned going ahead. As you rightly pointed out, that it's a high voltage campaign trail as well. Let's just actually listen in to what DK Shivkumar is saying there.
Karnataka ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತಮಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನವನ್ನು ಕೊಡೋರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಖರ್ಗೆ ಸಾಹೇಬರು ತಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
So there DK Shivkumar addressing the people there in Karnataka, Mallikarjun Kharge, and of course Siddaramaiah also present there. So there you can see Mr. Kharge now also
president to also address the gathering as they've just released the manifesto.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಸೀನರಾದಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಐಸಿಸಿ ಜನರಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ರೆಟರಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಇನ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಈ ಉಸ್ತುವಾರಿಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಂತ ಶ್ರೀ ಸುರ್ಜೇವಾಲಾಜಿ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಕೆಪಿಸಿಸಿಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಜಿ ಅವರೇ, ಸಿಎಲ್ಪಿ ನಾಯಕರು ಹಾಗೂ ಮಾಜಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯಜಿ ಅವರೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಫೆಸ್ಟೋವನ್ನು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ ಶ್ರೀ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರ್ ಜಿ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂತೋಷ, ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿದಂಬರಂ ಜಿ ಅವರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಫೆಸ್ಟೋವನ್ನು ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Sandeep Surjewala, DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah on the special day of this event releasing manifesto for Congress.
ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನನ್ನ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮದ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಒಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಫೆಸ್ಟೋ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಜನರಿಗೆ
We have prepared this manifesto keeping all the needs of the people of Karnataka.
ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆಯಾಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಅವರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಬಹುಶಃ ನಮ್ಮ
even during our previous term when Congress was in power,
65 ಭರವಸೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸುಮಾರು 158 ಭರವಸೆಗಳನ್ನ ಈಡೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೀತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪಕ್ಷ
we have ensured
ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ
at least
ಇದ್ರೆ
about 158 promises of Congress were
ಅದನ್ನ
fulfilled.
ನಾವು ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರದವರು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಫೆಸ್ಟೋ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದನ್ನ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಗ ಯಾವುದೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Even when the BJP was in power, we continued to fulfill the promises that were made to the people of Karnataka.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಕೇವಲ ಒಂದು 5-6 ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತನ್ನ ಮೊಟಕುಗೊಳಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಾನು ಬೀದರ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ಈಗ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಬೇಕು ದೀರ್ಘವಾಗಿ.
I'm going to just highlight a couple of the manifesto promises
ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ
and will end my speech.
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಯಕರು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಮುಂದೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಇಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು.
Our Congress chief will
ನಮ್ಮ ಮೊದಲನೇ
explain how we are planning to implement our promises.
ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ, ಅದು ಗೃಹ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ, 200 ಯೂನಿಟ್ ವಿದ್ಯುತ್ ಉಚಿತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡನೇದು
As mentioned in the guarantee, 200 units of free electricity.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ರಾಜ್ಯುಯೇಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಗೆ 1,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. ಇದು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾಕೆ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸರ್ಕಾರವು ಏನು 2,50,000 ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿಗಳಿವೆ, ಅವು ತುಂಬುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕೇಂದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಸುಮಾರು 30 ಲಕ್ಷ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸಿಗಳಿವೆ, ಅವರು ತುಂಬುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಿರುದ್ಯೋಗಿತನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು
free right to every member of the BPL household, rupees 2,000 monthly assistance to women head of the family, nearly 3,000 every month for graduate youth and 1,500 for diploma holders, and free travel for women in public transport.
ಡಿಪ್ಲೊಮಾ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಆಶ್ವಾಸನೆ, ಇದು ಈಡೇರಿಸ್ತೇವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತನ್ನ
we are promising that every month for graduate youth nearly 3,000 rupees will be disbursed.
ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಯ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಣಾಳಿಕೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ UPA ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು. ಮುಂದೆ
when the UPA was also in power.
ಪುಕ್ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಆಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು 7 ಕೆಜಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಮೊದಲ 5 ಕೆಜಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ತದನಂತರ 7 ಕೆಜಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ, ಹೀಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ 10 ಕೆಜಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರತಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ದು
Some 7 kgs of rice we have now increased quantity to 10 kgs of rice will be given to BPL family.
ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಬೆಲೆ ಗಗನಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇವೆ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಆಗಲಿ ಬೆಲೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಿಡಿತದಲ್ಲಿಡಬೇಕು, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಚಿಂತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಬಡವರು, ಲೋವರ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನವರು ಕೂಡ ತತ್ತರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ಯೋಜನೆಗೆ ಗೃಹಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೆಸರಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ 24,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ 4ನೇ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ. 5ನೇ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ,
4th guarantee we have promised nearly 2,000 rupees for every women household.
ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಬಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉಚಿತ ಪ್ರಯಾಣ. ಕಾರಣ ಅನೇಕ ಕಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪಾಪ ದಿನ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಬಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಅನೇಕ ಜನ
young female
ಹಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಂದ
students and also young women professionals, they are unable to pay the kind of bus charge that is charged by the government.
ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ತುಮಕೂರಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕದಿಂದ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ.
There are a lot of female students who travel from one district to the other.
ಕೂಲಿಕಾರರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕಾಗಿ,
school going students, college going students, to benefit them all.